everybody? We are live, still in Los Angeles, doing Sheen Talk Live, and it's me, Jazz, and we are with the lovely, the fashionista, okay, Miss Alpha Kappa Alpha herself, okay,
Incorporated,
okay, Miss Brandi Maxiell, okay. First of all, she came looking absolutely amazing.
Oh,
How are you,
thank
Brandi?
I'm good. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. First of all, I remember when you came on, you hit the scene. Everybody found out about you through Basketball Wives.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I could say about you, you were a fashionista on the show.
Thank you.
I could never understand why you ain't put your hands in your sleeves of your jackets. Okay, because all you saw was jacket, no hands. Okay, the sleeves they were on their own. Okay, but you had your own sense of style.
Thank you.
And where does that come from?
You know what? Texas.
Okay.
I mean, I was my mother, my grandmother. I mean, they've always made sure that I had the best of the best, and my father. So, I mean, I think it's just hereditary. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, but it's a great thing because it's like especially when it comes to reality TV, you can either come in real right or real wrong. Okay, that is.
Real try too hard. I try to make a balance, like in life, just not to. I'm not a trendy girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I like what I like, but I like to have pieces that's gonna last me forever, not just. Okay. A moment, you know, because why waste all that money and it's just going to be in your closet and you look at it in 10 years, you'd be like, why did I buy this? Why I buy this?
Now, what have you been up to?
Oh my God, girl, I've been so busy. I mean, I just relocated for, a little bit for, in LA.
Okay.
But, my dad just recently passed away 2 months ago.
Oh,
so I'm like literally trying to stay busy. Like I'm trying to keep busy. I'm working on my cookbook. I'm working on right now. September is a month I do this thing called Till Tea, and I have all the ladies come together and we have tea time. Okay. And Till Tea is my cancer event that I do. Okay. So I'm getting ready for that. And, I'm kind of relaunching my Brandi cosmetic, line.
Now, during COVID and during the whole pandemic, you said you were able to make sales.
Yes.
That's a blessing.
Yes.
With makeup.
It was.
With makeup, because so many people were doing tutorials. They were doing a whole bunch of things. So, as a Black-owned business, like, what was that like to still be able to bring in revenue when the whole world is shut down?
Well, I actually thought that I was going to have to go a different direction with beauty because I really thought that if you were like watching TikTok or watching, social media, they were all doing like natural, natural hair, no weaves, no wigs, and, like how to cleanse your skin and I was like, okay, I got to take a different direction and sell more softer, looks and nudes and stuff like that and glosses. And then, I mean, girl, when Outside opened, it was just like, oh, what? When they say no mask, it was like everybody was back to normal. So, but I'm still not against that because there are still people that are in, wearing, I just hope wigs don't ever go outdated or out of style because, baby girl,
they're not going nowhere. Not nowhere. Today, tomorrow, next week. So even with the makeup line, you also have Salon suites.
Yes.
So how did you even get involved with that type of venture?
My mom and my biological father, they've always been into the hair world. Okay. My mom was like this big time barber, growing up, and my dad was too, but they were like, one was in Arlington, Texas, and then my mom was in Dallas, Texas. Okay. So my mom and him, they have always owned their salon. Not to get it twisted, my biological dad, not the dad that just passed away. Okay. But they've always owned their businesses and stuff like that. And me and my mom, back in like 2012, early 2013, we were like, we got to do something that will really, really make money. Okay. And we thought of, Salon Suites. And so I was like, Because people be sleeping on them sweets.
They do. They're popping up everywhere.
Yeah, you get paid really well.
Yeah.
Because we're charging per week.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it started, and we were trying to expand it in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, and then we got shut down with COVID and stuff.
Right.
And so we kind of put a pause to that, and now we're back looking for more places to expand.
So one of the things that I will say is, because I'm a Basketball Wives fanatic, I have watched it since season 1. Don't judge me. And you have been extremely vocal. You don't hold no punches. You don't let nobody talk about you. You don't let nobody say what they want to, how they want to, when they want to. Have you always been that way?
I'm from Texas. Like when people ask me that, I'll be like, they'll be like, oh, okay, I get it now. But I'm born and raised.
Okay.
And women from Texas, we big, we loud, we have that Southern hospitality. We love big. We're loyal. We ride or die, but we don't play. Yeah. And so I think I got it honest. And with the group of women, it's a lot of women in my family on both sides. So. Okay.
So you already know. Yeah. Now the other thing about you is that you are a survivor.
Yes.
And I want to talk about that a little bit, because you've had an amazing story.
Yes.
You survived ovarian cancer, and you don't mind talking about it and sharing your journey. Where do you draw your strength from?
Just my grandma. She passed away 2016 with cancer, and just watching, she always used to tell me, like, your story, before I even had cancer, and even during, mainly too, like, you're going to be a testimony. Your story is going to be a testimony. You're going to be walking and helping other people. And she just always almost like prophesied to me and told me that this was going to be my calling. And, and I'm not going to lie, for the first 5 years, it was hard for me to talk about it. When I actually did the show is actually the first time that I openly talked about it. And it was very tough, because I would cry so much, and so then, like, my PR, Danica, was like, Brandi, your story is amazing and I want you to share it, but we're going to have to learn how to get those emotions out so you can really share your story. Yeah. Because it would be like snotty nose, because I don't know, because it was very traumatizing of the things that I went through and what I put other people through. So, but through practice and constantly going to seminars and constantly going to conferences and constantly being on a panel and, the show and interviews, it really helped me to get a lot better with sharing my story.
On the show, like I said, you were a pillar of strength, because a lot of people...
I never knew that I was impactful in people's lives like that. People will, like, stop me and they'll be like, oh my God, because of your story, it was this, because of your story. And I'm like, really? Like, seriously, really? But I remember hearing stories with Celine Dion and oh God, I can't think of her name, but she passed away. She was on Real World. Okay. And she had ovarian cancer too. Okay. And I remember, like, her sharing her story. And I remember going through what I was going through, and her story helped me. So I'm like, yeah, of course I did help people, But you just never, you just be like, oh, little old me.
No, that probably is one of the most impactful stories on reality TV, just because you are a survivor and you were able to talk about it. Yeah. Some people don't talk about the things that they go through. They talk about the drama, the other stuff, the other stuff. So it's like, when you hear something that somebody really, really went through, that really, really affected their life and how they were able to survive, those are the things and the people that people actually do remember.
At first, when I first got on the show before, I would talk about it, and then I stopped talking about it, and because I didn't want them to think like, oh, like, oh yeah. But then I was like, you know what, like, the ones that don't want to hear it don't have to listen, and the ones that need to hear it will listen. You know, I would feel foolish not to talk about it. You know, like, what am I here for? That's my story, you know, and I'm going to, you know, forever touch on people's lives that need to hear about it.
Touch on it, child. Touch on it. So you did say that you're going to relaunch and do new products. So what can we expect?
I want to do glosses. I want to do more natural, like, glow stuff, like not so much of like heavy makeup and stuff like that. And I also want to touch into like the sheer side of things, but like the foundations and stuff like that, the concealers and stuff. I'm trying to figure out how people can really, like, you know, I don't want everybody buying it and then like bringing it back, because then, you know, when you put stuff, when you order something and it's not your color, you got to bring it back, and then I can't use that anymore. Right. You know, so I'm trying to figure out a way that it can work.
So are we going to get any fashion from Brandi, Maxiell? Like, are we going to get any clothing lines?
So you know what? I partnered with one of my best friends for clothing, for a clothing line. And we did it, 2019?
Okay.
And so, like, I was like, you know what? Everybody has one, you know? And that's the same crap that I did with the cosmetic thing. Okay. And so I was like, let's test this out. So, like, I put out some product, and, girl, it sold out in, like, seconds. And so I was like, oh, okay, maybe that was just a glitch.
Little faith.
Maybe that was, like, a cute little, you know, number. Let's try it again.
Right.
It sold out again. So I was like, you know what, we need to do this. And then COVID happened. Mm-hmm.
So what else are you working on?
Another thing that I'm very passionate about is cooking. So, I mean, girl, like, people don't even know that. I'm like, I didn't gain, like, honestly, since I was on the show, like I gained, like, 45 pounds. Okay. Like, I'm, like,
cornbread fed.
Cornbread fed. Hot water cornbread. So that's my next thing. I'm doing cooking. I'm tapping into the cooking world, coming out with a recipe book. I want to come out with, you know, some cookware and everything. I'm going to open a restaurant in Texas, and I'm going to name it after my grandma, because she taught me everything.
So here's a vivid memory, because when you're saying it, I'm thinking, I remember on the show, it was an episode where Jason came home, and you were in the kitchen cooking. I think it was pork chops.
And my cousins and my sisters were there, and that's cooking. Their favorite meal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
She was cooking. So, the cookbook is going to be fire, okay? So we have to get Brandi in the kitchen is what she's saying. Because, you
Brandi
know,
cooks.
we do Sheen Talk live in the kitchen. So, we have to get Brandi. It's coming. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. So, Brandi, tell everybody where they can follow you at on social media.
Oh, my God. So, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, girl, all of it. It's Brandi Maxiell. And then, of course, I have my cosmetic lines, and that's Brandi Maxiell Cosmetics. Okay. And if anybody's in Texas and needs some sweets, honey, follow Midway Salon Sweets and hit me up. And, hey, see what we can do.
Listen. If you are a makeup artist and a hairstylist, then this is the one that you need to be tuning into, because makeup artists need to be using Brandi Maxiell Cosmetics. Okay? All right? Listen, Black owned and ran for real. Okay? Stay tuned for more Sheen Talk Live.